Oye, Gainesville, get up, baby. You know what time it is. From the 305 to the 352, it's El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. Puro tolete, dale. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of El Cuban Dudes Show. It is Thursday evening, 7 p.m., February 1st, dude. It's already February 1st. I'm here with my boy, as usual, Abel. Abel, say hi to all the folks here.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week so far. We got plenty of doo-doo to talk about today.
Ya empezaste mal, bro. Why you gotta do that to me?
Porque hay que empezar de alguna forma.
Tell me, Abel. Tell me, bro. How was your weekend, bro? I haven't seen you in quite a bit.
Oh, my brother. No, it was actually fine. With the exception of me ripping my rotator cuff. It
What
was
happened,
fine,
bro?
dude. So I was trying to help a buddy of mine with my power steering, dude. So I went and I started helping the cat, and dude, I heard something rip. Yeah, I was like, oh. And I let that thing go.
Power steering slang for something.
No, for real, dude. And dude, I've been on pills and laying down. I messed up, dude.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been
Is that
fine.
why you're all tweaked out right now?
Yeah, dude, I'm like tripping. I'm tripping.
Oh my god, man. Oh, but your rotator cuff, dude, like people better like, what did you do, bro? You must have done some hardcore thing.
Bro,
like,
I was holding it for too long.
yeah.
No, for real. No, never doubt.
Oh my goodness, bro. Bueno, I have not torn my rotator cuff, but let's see. What did I do? Went to Disney.
Ooh.
Disney World. You got an effect for Disney World? I think that's the wrong one. I think the panic one is the right one. We're still gonna get those under control. Yeah. So I went to Disney World, man. You know, the little one, the 5-year-old, she's never been. That was the first time.
That must have been cool for her.
Yeah, it was very cool. I mean, she was like, talk about tripping out. She was like, oh my God, I'm in Disney. I can't believe I'm here. Like,
That's
whatever.
cool,
It was
bro.
cool. The middle one, she went, last time she went, she was like around 3. So this was almost like her first visit too. She doesn't remember much of anything. It's only the older one, the one that remembers stuff. And even then it's kind of vague, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I went to Disney, had a good time. Qué cantidad de gente, bro.
Coño, brother, ¿cuántos son los tiquetes? And just to ask, because I know the shit, man. They were like 145 or 100 or some shit like that.
I don't have the individual tickets. We have the annual passes.
Oh, isn't that special?
Yeah. I just figure that we live an hour and a half away.
You might as well.
Once we get a taste of it, we're gonna want to go back.
Yep.
There's a bunch of parks, whatever. But just for the 5 of us alone, dude, the annual passes are like four something, almost $5,000.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. So you have to go just to get your money.
Have to go. And then now the little bands that they give you, when you go to the park.
Yeah.
Back then they used to give you these bands, especially when you have to scan stuff.
Scan your shit.
None of that shit is free. Now you have to pay for it. I have to pay $5,000 for annual passes and then go inside of a store and spend about $40 for each one of us to get a band so we could scan things.
Coño, bro, that sounds like robbery, bro.
Dude, Disney está de madre, bro.
Te sacan el jugo, no dejan nada ni para los mosquitos, bro.
For real, man, for real. Yeah, but like I was saying, bro, una cantidad de gente de madre, bro. Like I kept walking around and I was telling my wife, I was like, babe, that's not like, it's not even that bad today. Like, there's people. That's what I wanted to believe the whole time. I was like, there's people, but like, it's not that bad. But dude, no way. By the time we were done, especially the first day at Magic Kingdom, I was looking around. I was like, oh my God, I just remembered.
Dime.
A quick story about Magic Kingdom, and it has to do with Cubans.
Oh, well.
So,
what a coincidence.
What a coincidence. So after the fireworks, we're there, trying to get out of the fucking chaos of everything, right? There's like 1 million people, whatever. And I'm like, well, let's get out of here, whatever. So we're walking back towards the entrance of the park. And as we're walking back, dude, there's a complete gridlock, like standstill in the middle of the chaos. And I told Anna, my wife, I'm like, dude, like, what the hell? Like, how can people not move? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm starting to like lose my mind. I'm having flashbacks of why I left Miami. You know what I mean? When I'm at Disney, Yeah. So I'm there. And in the middle of the chaos is these 5 people that I could tell just from far away. I'm like, ay, mira tu hijo de puta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew it was Cubans just hanging out in the middle of the, not having a full blown, oye, que hola, how's everything going conversation.
Right.
While people are trying to get out of the firework display. And it's like a madhouse.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And as I walk by, confirmed, oye, sí, vamos, porque no sé qué cosa, que más cuatro. I'm like, dude, oh my God.
That's
man.
too much.
It
And
was like embarrassing as hell.
Yeah, it's not like they don't know about lines because they've been doing lines for a lot of times. And I'm not talking about the lines. I'm just talking about real life.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So that's my deal this weekend. That's the main highlight, going to Disney, and just the plans of it all.
Cool. No, and just so since I didn't do much, dude, I started. I was like, "Coño, babe, why don't we go eat?" So I'm a foodie, bro. So I start driving around town. I make San Nueva, dude, and lo and behold, I get off of the expressway, and I stumble across La Fiesta. You remember we were having a conversation of La Fiesta,
Oh yeah.
the Mexican joint, bro. That place is now completely remodeled, new menu. Vaya, parece they've painted everything.
Yeah.
So
I've never been inside. This is my first time ever going inside, but I mean, excuse me, ever driving by it and actually discovering it. Because, like I said, if it's not an Archer, I have no idea on the Garajo.
right. Right.
So yeah, but you went inside and everything's remodeled.
Dude, it's all remodeled. It's not look at what impresses me is that coño, they were about to close their doors. All of a sudden they got
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Like, how did they get all this money now to suddenly, I know it wasn't a weekend and they got all that money.
Yeah.
So was it then definitely a marketing thing, right?
Dude, I don't know. Maybe they got help. Maybe somebody's paying. Maybe somebody's flipped the bill.
Bueno, I'm glad that they fixed it up because esa mierda era como like mothers of the Mexican restaurants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So grimy. It was grimy, bro.
What is Mothers? What is that?
Dude, it's like a dive bar for college students in downtown.
Oh.
They mostly the rugby cats, and it's an Irish joint,
Yeah.
Pero,
And it's known for being a
grimy place. Dude, it's pretty bad. Yeah.
It's unfortunate if that really is the case. I mean, if they really were pretending like they were closing, and then because that's not cool, because then anybody else is going to be closing in the future, and then they're like, ah, yeah, look at these, the boy who cried wolf, and you're gonna be like, ah, mira todo tipo aquí pretending, whatever,
It was kind of genius, pero
it is genius,
pero pulling on people's heartstrings, para que tú sabes, I thought it was shitty.
Yeah, for real. All right, man. Did you end up eating anything?
Ni cojones, brother. I went somewhere else.
What Mexican places here do you recommend?
So I don't go to the regular. I've gone to all of them. I've been to La Tienda, the one on 13th. Those guys are pretty legit. I go to El Indio a lot, just because it's convenient, because it's kind of more or less close to the house. Los Mariachi, Las Maracas, wherever the fuck that place is on Newberry, I think it is, and 34th.
Los Mariachi, Las Maracas.
Una mierda esa.
Misma mierda.
Yeah. And those guys are pretty good, but their bartenders every once in a while they're kind of jerks. The new one, La Carreta. I think it's called La Carreta.
La Carreta's a Cuban restaurant.
Coño, no, pero yo creo que that Mexican place se llama La Carreta también.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. That's the one that well, you weren't here when CJ's was open. Anyway, this has got like 3 or 4 floors, dude. The food is fantastic. The people are cool. The food is good. If you want to take your family, go there.
La Carreta.
Creo que se llama La Carreta, bro.
Where's it located by?
Eso está por la Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora.
And
Oh, yes.
that little street that splits up.
Yeah.
By
Newberry.
Exactamente. If you want Mexican, that's the place to go, guys.
Yeah. To me, like I said last time, if it's not Linda Vista, I don't know, because if it's not an Archer.
If it's not an Archer, se jodieron.
Yeah. We do have something interesting today, which is different than our first episode. We got our first sponsor.
No way.
Yes, that's it's kind of cool on our second show to have a sponsor already. Enable Properties.
Enable Properties.
Enable Properties.
All right, my friends.
Cuban owned.
It is Cuban owned, female owned too.
Female owned.
Yeah, man. So I remember we tell you guys buy locally.
By logo.
Anyway, guys,
let's jump on that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, guys,
Properties.
Absolutely. So this portion of the show has been brought to you by Enable Properties. This is a boutique-style real estate property management company with over 2 decades of experience. Amy has started as a leasing agent in St. Marco Apartments in the Fontainebleau area in Miami. Through her career, she has earned several awards and a Manager of the Year award in the Collier Companies of Gainesville. She has a deep passion to helping her clients get to the next level. She has been licensed since 1999, so she knows the ups and downs of the industry. Her new passion is to show new investors to maneuver the pitfalls while increasing value to your asset and revenue. If this is something that you are interested, please call her at 352-225-1163 or check out our website, enablepropertiesgnv.com.
Awesome. Let's give a round of applause to our new sponsor.
Let's go, Enable Properties.
Properties. Go buy stuff from them. It's awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into our topic of the day.
Dale.
Let me put a little screen thing here to highlight that. All right. Our topic of the day is topic from the city to the country.
Pam, pam, pam.
Bam, 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 bam.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, from the city to the country. All right, so we've all got stories. My story is a little different than Abel's story, but we'll go ahead and touch base on both. I guess it's to give the vast dynamic of what it could be moving up to Gainesville. And I say the country loosely because Gainesville is not just the country, right? We know that, but to us, people from Miami.
Metropolis.
Yeah, it feels like you're in the country, kind of no matter where you are in Gainesville. I think for the most part, even if it's relatively rural, you still feel like you're in the country.
Even if you're in the middle of the city, you're still in the country.
Yeah. So I'll start. I remember when we moved up here, it was a shit show to say the least. As far as the adjustment, we had not seen the types of bugs, the kinds of just the kinds of critters, right? That we I don't know how else to put it. The kinds of critters that we went ahead and discovered when we moved up to Gainesville. I'll start with just the spiders alone.
Ooh, arachnophobia.
Not arachnophobia, dude, but you don't see shit. You don't see stuff like that in Miami.
You really don't, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna share with you guys here on screen just a little taste of some of the stuff. Now, these are actual images that we've taken from our property here in Archer. Yeah, let me know if you could see my screen.
Wow, what is that, dude?
Okay, this is for starters. I believe this is a brown widow spider. The brown widow spider, I actually came to discover recently when we went to Miami on a trip that apparently it's made its way down there. Maybe it's always existed. I don't know, but I've never noticed these guys lay these like little spiky eggs.
Okay.
And I noticed that as like the first thing I noticed up here in Gainesville. I was like, coño, ¿qué carajo esto? What are these little spiky eggs and all over my shed, all over everything, whatever.
Right.
And when we went down to Miami recently, I discovered them under a park bench, and I was like, these guys have made their way up here. So,
like, get these refs, bro.
The brown widow spider. That's the first guy here, the first culprit of like, what the hell? Where have we moved to? ¿Qué carajo es?
Yeah, this is a dangerous place. Mira esto, brother. This guy looks like he was farting last night.
Yeah. This is our cicada killer wasp. Cicada killer wasp kills cicadas. That's the name implies. Well, but I feel like this could kill people. Yeah, this is an actual image of one that was found dead by my pool. And this isn't even like super zoomed in or anything. I just took a picture of it up close.
That shit looks like about 1.5 feet.
It looks like a Power Ranger.
It does look like a fucking Power Ranger.
Yeah. So cicada killer wasps, welcome to Gainesville. Holy crap, right? This here, this is not okay. So this is not from my house. This is the only image here that's not from my house, but we have seen these guys before. This is a huntsman spider. Huntsman spiders. We actually saw one once the width of our doggy door. So the doggy door. Yes, yeah. If my wife was here, I'd be like, right, babe, right. The width of our doggy door, and it was pretty impresionante to say the least.
That thing is huge, dude.
Yeah, that's an understatement. It's a big spider.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, they run really fast sideways.
Oh no, dude, like a crab,
which is trippy as hell. Yeah, like a crab. This is a routine out here, right? This is a
What is that shit?
It's a giant stink bug.
Stink bug? What is it?
Giant
It's
stink
lured
bug.
by petagulo or what?
Petagulo bug. A giant stink bug. It's the first thing that greeted us when we moved up to Gainesville. I mean, we parked on our driveway, and the first thing that we saw was this guy fly over my head like a helicopter.
Wow. So the things fly.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good.
And they let out like a weird smell if you kill them, hence stink bug. But actually, that's what people say. But I have killed some recently, because I don't want them around my property. I'm sorry to people that care about stink bugs, but they don't really smell that bad, so I don't get what the deal is with the stink. They do let off a smell, but it's not like stink, like pete agrajo bug or anything like that. You know what I mean? So there's that.
All right, let's see the next one.
The next one, this guy, couldn't get a good picture of him, but this was a snake that was under one of my pool furniture. You can't see him real well, but this is
is that a snake right there coming out? That little black.
You see this thing right here?
Es una culebra, bro.
That's the head of the snake. Yeah, it's coming out. I tried to find another picture. I have another picture that you could get them a lot better, but I don't know where it ended up in my collection of pictures. But snakes are a thing. It's kind of the thing I want to highlight. Snakes are a thing. We have discovered king snake, coral snake, rat snakes of all different kinds, pine snakes. We're in the country, right? I mean,
shit, man. We got snakes out there, but they wear hoodies.
They were. All right. So, snakes. Let's see what else. Scorpions.
Oh,
I had never seen a scorpion in my life.
Tell me we have that shit here.
We have that shit. Yeah, that's from here.
Coño.
You didn't know that?
No, bro. I thought that was only
for real, legit. You didn't know that?
No, for real. I thought that was only like out there in the Mojave Desert and shit.
Me
with
too.
Tarantulas and shit.
I lived in Vegas for about a year and a half, close to 2 years, and of course we saw scorpions out there, and it's expected. It's the desert.
Correct.
But I had never seen. I didn't even know there was scorpions in Florida.
Neither did I.
Yeah, this is called a hen's scorpion.
Well, that's the last time I'm leaving my shoes outside.
Yeah, my wife actually discovered one in her shoe once.
You see, dude,
for real.
Olvídate de eso, bro.
Yeah. And I remember when I first saw this, I was like, the thing that actually gave me the clue that we had scorpions is on my kid's window screen. Mm-hmm. There is a culo where the little pincher thing is hanging from one of my kids' window screens.
Oh, no way.
And I saw that once when we first moved in and bought the house, and I was like, is that a stinger from a scorpion? I was like, nah, that's my imagination. No way. There's no scorpions out here. I mean,
you guys are brave, dude.
And then, so there's that.
It was like Mutual of Omaha and shit in your house.
And this isn't a hickory smoked meat or anything like that. This is a walking stick bug. Now, these guys supposedly are relatively harmless. This was actually, besides the stinger of the scorpion that I saw on the screen, the first animal I saw when we bought this property coming up here from Miami that I was like, what the hell have I done? Legit. I was like, I almost wanted to get my money back and just go back to Miami, go back to Country Walk or something, whatever. Because I was like, ¿Qué carajo esto, bro? And I thought that was a scorpion when I first saw it.
Yeah.
And because I saw the way its tail looked, and I was like, oh my God, is that a scorpion? I was like, my mind was tripping, right? So I ended up texting the guy who used to own this property, who we basically became friends after, I bought it. He's an ex-guy from ex-Miami guy, Cuban.
No digo yo llamándolo toda la semana. Bro, what the fuck is this?
What is this? What is that? He was like my guru for the first, I don't know how long.
I can imagine.
And he told me, he was like, oh no, it's a walking stick bug. And I was like, well, whatever. He made it sound
like there was no big deal.
He made it sound like it was no big deal, and I actually researched these guys release some kind of toxin that could hit you in the eye.
Of course.
That can make you go blind. So like that's not that big of a, that is a big deal. You know what I mean? Especially with my kids. And then there's this guy.
Yeah. She's kind of big too, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's on top of my water softener system. Okay. So the head of one of the water softening systems is, probably about, I would say about probably like the length of my arm from like my elbow to my hand, right? And she takes up, as you can see, almost half the length of that thing. That is a wolf spider, and those are very common out here. I mean, everybody, I think in northern Florida and in the South knows wolf spiders. But I had never seen that in Miami, man. I had never seen a spider like that in my life.
No, we don't see any of that, dude. What we get is those big-ass palmetto bugs. Que una cucaracha con ala.
Yeah.
Like a small bird.
Or water bugs. I haven't seen water bugs up here, but which is obviously not, they look like cucarachas, but they have claws.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a separate thing altogether.
Wow.
But the thing that's trippy about these guys is that their eyes glow. So in the nighttime, if you have like a flashlight, their eyes reflect like that. And
Oh, nice.
when we're walking around the acreage at night, when we first bought the property, we're walking around and we're like, oh my God.
Adventuring and
look
shit.
how pretty. Like, there's the dew is reflecting and
Right.
it's a bunch of spiders.
Bunch of spiders.
Yeah. So this is the type of stuff that we go ahead and we run into when we're moving from Miami to Gainesville. And we're like, Miami people coming up here and seeing this stuff is literally like,
they need to
what have we
prepare.
done?
Yeah, they need to prepare. Absolutely. This is way different than what we're used to down there, man. Like I tell you, what we do have a lot still in Miami is the red ants that anywhere you are, they'll bite you. We got the roaches.
That's nothing.
We got iguanas. And we got pythons. I mean,
iguanas is the thing. Yeah, iguanas is the big thing now.
Uh-huh.
And those big weird lizards that are like multicolored that are just running around like your sidewalk like it's normal.
Yep.
I also want to share this video of this guy going ahead and trying to catch a huntsman.
Oh,
I've got a visitor in the house, and she's up there on the roof. If I creep the camera around, we'll be able to see her. Oh, there she is.
There's Andy.
She's a wonderful critter, and it's mating season, so she's out in the prowl looking for a mate. They're huntsmen, and they move lightning fast. That's the way they catch their prey. I'm going to go up there and try and catch her with my best spider sense of this Chinese food container. I'll hand the camera over to my most faithful assistant to film this, and we'll see what we get. Oh, there's a great close-up of her. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? What a fine specimen. Can you see Daddy and the spider?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Daddy, careful.
Decided to get a bigger container because of the size of this one. I'll have to move really quick.
Look at Steve Irwin.
Oh, fuck. ¡A correr, coño! ¡Ahí está el spider!
¿Qué clase?
¿Qué clase de despingue? ¿Tú te imaginas eso?
Bro.
I cannot even.
My wife would freak, dude.
I tell people these stories of the things that we see up here, and I almost feel like sometimes they don't believe me. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, coming back here now to my screen of the show, I got some comments I want to go ahead and catch up on.
Absolutely, brother. Vamos a ver lo que dicen la gente.
So I have here Martin Nogueira, que vola, Martin.
Martin, bro. He's also from Miami. He lives here in Gainesville, bro. He's got himself a little band. He works at the university. Cool cat, dude.
Awesome. What's up, Martin? He says Black Widow. I've only seen one Black Widow on our property, and actually, with everything that we've seen out here, the Black Widow. And there's another spider, que coño, el nombre escapes me right now, that is one of the most dangerous spiders that there is in the South. Luckily, is not on our property. The name escapes me of this other one. But the Black Widow is actually like really dangerous. And luckily, I've only ever seen one. And I'm like, dude, thank God. You know what I mean? I don't know what people have on their property out here as far as other critters and if they're riddled with Black Widows, but thank goodness we don't have that, man.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm armed with a lighter and a spray bottle, an aerosol can.
Martin also says a water moccasin.
Water moccasin. Oh yeah.
What is a water moccasin?
It's a hell of a drink. No, it's like a viper of some sort. It'll kill you.
Oh yeah. Is that found up here?
Dude, those water moccasins are aggressive. Ve comiendo mierda allá en a river y que no, como vamos para river. Those things will attack your boat.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude. They'll follow you, and they're the ones that hang like on the vines, waiting for the boat to pass under so they can bite you.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Those things don't mess around.
Yeah. Thank God I don't have a river in my house, on my acreage.
Es lo único que te faltaría, bro.
Lo único que me faltaría.
Coño.
Oh, Martin says, yeah, they're in the Everglades. Yeah, they're in the Everglades. But we also have Payne's Prairie up here. I'm sure you'll find those mother effers up here. What about the day? Oh, it's Randy, the guy who used to own my property that I actually was inquiring all the time about. So let's see. What about the day you found the chupacabra and sent me a picture? Yeah, that was the walking stick bug. That was the chupacabra. That was the walking stick bug. I legit was like, dude, what is this? Why did you lie to me and sell me this property?
I've been bamboozled.
You've bamboozled me, man. I thought we were like becoming friends. I thought we were friends. Yeah. He says that one. Yeah, I missed it because I was sharing the screen. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. The walking stick bug. Randy also says I missed those guys. That's Larry, by the way. Nice spider. Yeah. Randy. Let's see other comments here. Martin also says, "Coño, son city boys. I did research at FIU in the Everglades. See all those critters." Exactly, bro. I'm talking about like Miami. I'm not saying like moving from the Everglades to Gainesville.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about moving like living in Kendall and then like coming up here and seeing all that. You know what I mean?
And even Kendall's, you know, it's out there. I mean, it's kind of almost budding the Everglades.
True, but like I said, the worst thing I ever saw in Miami was those large cockroaches, right?
Right.
Nasty. And the brown recluse. That was the other one.
That's it, dude.
Martin mentioned it.
I think my wife got bit by one of those. Or was it? She got bit by some shit that she had to go to the hospital. Dude, it was getting worse and worse and worse.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And then I had another friend of mine that came in from Miami. I don't know what the hell he thought. And he started, you know, I'm going to go camp and all this bullshit. Bro, it bit him. He didn't take care of it. He se le pudrió la carne in the back.
That was probably a brown recluse.
Bro, it was just eating through the flesh, dude. Y qué peste tenía ese tipo, bro.
Yo,
Nasty.
I can't even imagine, bro.
Yeah.
No, luckily we don't have those, and we don't have black widows out here. We have brown widows, and I've done a lot of research. That's another thing too. You become an entomologist when you go ahead and you move out to the country from Miami. I've read about spiders, about wasps, about cucaracha, about all kinds of bichos, and I could honestly teach a class, a doctorate level class in bugs.
I can imagine.
You know what I mean?
I can imagine. I simplify my life. I kill them all.
Dude, it reminds me, the very first thing was the walking stick bug. But right after that, we had bought a piece of our bed, actually our bed frame. We got it from Amy's Furniture.
Uh-huh.
And I guess they sent it from the warehouse here in Gainesville.
Estaba envenenado.
Bro, and we take apart the thing, whatever, you know, we open the box. And shortly thereafter, we discover a spider on our floor that was as big as that wolf spider, right? But meaty, like meat, like girthy.
Oh, that thing's been eating something.
And that thing's been eating shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
it's probably hungry.
And it's probably hungry. and I was like, dude, what is this? Literally, you'd see an entire family of 5 on top of a bed, including me, right? Because I'm throwing myself in there.
Of course.
On top of a bed with my wife, bravely enough, right? Getting down to grab a keyboard, the keyboards you type with,
right,
over her head,
right?
Pa matar la mierda esa. She's like, rah! She throws it, and the spider goes, blah! And legs fly everywhere, and the head, and the butt, and everything. And I was like, dude. And I remember I turned to my wife and I said, "This isn't our forever home." Like
I would say, dude,
I'm not living here all my life. What have we done?
That's funny as shit, dude.
Beth Platanito Nenskis, which I like to call her that because she used to always buy platanitos from us back in Cuban Dude truck days. Love Beth. She says, "What about armadillos? In South Florida, you only see them as roadkill. I love them. They're super cute." Are you serious? Don't they have like that leprosy or something, armadillo?
I don't know. I know they make a lot of holes in the dirt and stuff. I've seen them around the house.
Well, that's one thing we also have here. We don't have armadillos, but we have the gophers. Gophers make.
Oh yeah, you do, huh? Yeah, those are the little. Yeah,
we used to think those were anthills at first. Talk about something else that we were like, what the hell have we done? You know what I mean? I'm like, mira toda esta cantidad de hormigas aquí. My kids are gonna die.
Yeah,
they trip and fall. No, it's just they push the dirt up from the ground.
Tienes que comprarte un gatico, brother.
We have a cat, but she's una damita. She lives in the house. You know.
No, eso no sirve.
We had an outside cat, but he now lives with other people. We're going descarado. He came from Miami with us out here, and now he left.
He's like deuces, bro. They feed me better at the other.
One of those tuxedo cats. He thinks he's all pimping, yéndose para allá, living with the other people. Piscina, yep. I'm just running through these quickly because they're all related. So we're talking about palmetto bugs are the worst in Miami. Yeah, cucarachas that fly. Oh my god, yeah, cucarachas that fly. So there's a funny story about Miami. I'll never forget my wife one day. There was this thing flying towards her. She thought it was a butterfly. And she goes, "Oh, babe, look, the butterfly." And she puts her hand up like that, and the thing comes all gracefully. And as it's landing on her, it's a huge-ass palmetto bug like that. She's like, "Oh, my God." Bro, that is implanted in my brain.
Well, guys,
if
you guys are from Gainesville, we do have roaches that fly down south.
Yeah, we do have that. But here we do have like luckily, that's another thing too. I don't have German roaches, but we have Asian roaches. They look the same.
Coño, man, you gotta be tremendo racista.
No, that's literally what I'm telling you, bro. I've done a lot of research. Asian roaches.
Este chino, no sirve.
The Gino. He brings. No, let me not even get into that one. I'll plead the fifth. They're supposed to carry leprosy, but I don't hug them. I just look at them. Yeah.
Oh, so it is a fact.
Yeah, it is a fact. I'm telling you, I've read before that that they carry, leprosy and stuff like that. But that's me, man. That's me in a nutshell. That's the stuff that we've gone through up here. It's just been a lot of like shock therapy to adjust. It's been 3 years, and now what's crazy is I see wolf spiders. Huntsmen are still like the the big one that we saw on the wall there.
Right.
They're still trippy. Whenever I see one, I'm like, con los pelos parados, because they're just so crazy how fast they are. They're not really aggressive. Luckily, none of these creatures are really like super aggressive. But they are trippy. But like the wolf spiders, the wasps, dude. When I first moved up here, I was like World War III against the wasps. I was determined to kill every single wasp that was around my property. They'd fly over my head, and you see me with the spray in the air, like, "Hey, qué carajo!" You know what I mean? Like that. Oh,
Bro, have you gotten bitten by a whole bunch of them?
never.
Dude, it's like if somebody was turning off cigarette butts,
Yeah.
on your skin, dude. It burns.
I only got stung by a wasp once in my life, and I was a kid, and I was climbing down a tennis fence.
Uh-huh.
Because they could lock the doors. And I
Uh-huh.
was going down the thing, and it bit me in the hand when I was coming down. I let go.
Eso es un
all the way
dolor
at
de
the top.
carajo. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but never as an adult. And dude, now I see them stuff, and I'm just like, oh, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, guys? It's only something like that Power Ranger thing that I showed. That's like
That was wild.
that's wild.
That was wild. I remember. So one of my many jobs here in Gainesville was doing maintenance. So I was working in a property, and you gotta pick up garbage and pick up a bunch of stuff and fix apartments and stuff. So some dude was one of the managers was like, hey, listen, I need you to either dig a hole, get this shit ready. And I'm like, all right, no problem. So it's a bush close to like a retention pond, and I'm digging and I'm digging and I'm digging. And I had been working there for an hour, dude. And then my boss passes by, and I tell him, hey, can I go get lunch? And he's like, yeah, listen, I'm gonna go to my car and I'm gonna go have lunch because I brought it today. He's like, okay, no problem. So I had my car close to where I was working. I sit down, dude, and from the same bush, but the other had like about a foot from behind, a 4-foot alligator had been just sitting there all the time that I was working. When I got to the car, the thing, like 2 minutes after he saw me dip, he got up and started walking towards the car. Dude, I have the video. I've been trying to look for it, and I'll come in and share it at the show. And I was
Was it
like,
a Friday? Maybe he was just trying to go home.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He liked the way I smelled. He was like, con el gordito este me lo voy a comer. I started freaking out, dude. I'm like, yo, this only happens in Gainesville. Another one también I was telling my wife, oh, what a beautiful day. Let's open up the doors and let the breeze. Y toda esa mierda. When I medio hago así and I take a look, bro, I had a black racer snake coming inside the house, dude.
Oh yeah, we've seen those.
And I was like, oh, I freaked out.
But
Dude.
supposedly you come to learn, right? It's like Pocahontas, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like all the animals live together and like the world functions as one.
Sure.
Sure. Or whatever. That it's good to have those snakes around because of mice. I mean, you don't want a mouse problem.
Pero mira, you got a bunch of gophers. Tira aquí 3 o 4 culebras de esas, brother, para que se amen a todos los guayabitos, piquen eso.
Those snakes, they're not going to build tunnels under the ground and go hunt those guys. They live in the surface.
No, you're probably not, dude.
Yeah. And that and very much so. That's kind of just scratching the surface. There's so many different things. Land tortoises.
Check this out. The land tortoises. I got a story for that. So we have some friends of ours. They've been saving their money for a long time. Lo pobre. They finally find a piece of property. They're like, oh, we love it. It had like 5-10 acres in the middle there by Melrose. And they are like, okay, now we're gonna build. And then the city came out there, or the county came out there to start, doing their bullshit. And they found that like a third of their property is all of those turtles.
No.
So they couldn't build. So they had to
build.
They had to, yeah. Then they've been waiting for a year to get all the turtles to be able to move them somewhere else. Tremenda cagation.
Can you imagine?
I would have been comiendo sopa de tortuga.
Randy says that I don't say thank you for what he did to get rid of them before. He goes, you don't want to know. Clase tipo, bro.
Yeah, they're in the walls.
Yeah. I do have another thing here that says from Carlos Guinard.
Yes.
Abel, remember when we saw the coyote in downtown Chicago? That was some crazy shit.
That was another.
They caught the poor thing at Quiznos.
Yeah, dude. So that was that's my brother-in-law Carlos. We were there with the family, in Chicago, hanging out. We're like, all right, let's go to downtown. It's a beautiful. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, bro, that coyote running in the middle of the street. People going, oh my god! That coyote went inside a CVS, came out. Well, to make a long story short, dude, that was on the news, on the front page and everything. We saw that thing live. That was fantastic.
You lived in Chicago?
No, he lives in Chicago. We were visiting.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing happened to me in Los Angeles, in Chinatown. I was like at 3 a.m. We were
That might have been a tweaker.
we were we were a shapeshifter. we were filming at 3 o'clock in the morning, and lo and behold, we say a coyote come out, try to sniff in the van.
All that, but that type of stuff in the West Coast just feels like it's organic. You expect to see a coyote.
Yeah.
You expect to see a scorpion.
In Chicago, it was weird.
Yeah, it was weird in Chicago.
Dude, in the middle of the street. Dude.
Yeah, it's like seeing a giraffe going down the street.
But basically.
I've heard Martin Nogueira say, I was raised, and I think this is a great transition to your experiences in Gainesville. Martin Nogueira says, I was raised in Gainesville in the 90s, elementary to middle school. When I went back to high school, when I went back to high school in Miami, I would get teased because was picked. Oh, okay. So I misread this. I apologize, Martin. What Martin is saying is that he came to school here as a child, and when he went back to Miami, he was teased for his country accent. I was thinking that he was getting teased here because of his Miami accent or whatever. So I had that backwards. So that's my fault. But yeah, I could imagine. So I mean, I actually really quickly before we move on to your story, Abel, when I went down in October for my middle child's birthday, my cousins and my family was making fun of me because I was wearing like a mossy oak hat or something. They're like, oh, look at this redneck, you know. And I was like, dude, calm down, you know what I mean? I'm just like I told my cousin, I was like, dude, the closest thing that there is by my house is a Tractor Supply. Right. I'm sorry, and I'm not gonna go all the way to Walmart.
No. So that was one of the culture shocks that I had when I moved up here. It was I would see people like at church with camo and flip flops. And I was like, bro, that's so different than from Miami. Miami, you go to the corner store and you're decked out. You know, you go to church and you got to be, you know.
I don't think I've ever been to a store here without wearing my PJs.
Right. Or what is it? The Crocs or whatever shit. I don't even know what.
Maybe it's because of the students. You just get this vibe that you're like, whatever.
Who cares? Yeah, that was a culture shock for me as well.
But I'd love to hear your story, man. How do you get here? And tell me about your experience.
Absolutely. So my experience wasn't that wonderful. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's why I led with my story.
That's right. Mine wasn't that great. So I moved over here. I was a real estate appraiser down south. I came up with a Cuban family that were like, oh, Abel, you got to come up here. This Gainesville is so beautiful, and the houses are so cheap and all of that. And I'm like, well, no, fantastic. Sounds great. You know, I had been up here already in 92. I had a bunch of friends of mine that were studying. So we partied, you know, my wife and I partied up here. And everything was fine and dandy. Once we moved here, it was a whole different story. The Cuban family that said this place was wonderful. It was the best 6 months after they found out this wasn't like Miami, they left. So they left us high and dry here without any work, without anything. After I had done the whole,
they saw the wolf spiders.
They probably saw the wolf spiders, and nothing, bro. So then that's when the mission starts. That those are trying to look for work, and you're asking for $14 an hour when these guys were getting paid $8 minimum wage for like labor, you know. And I was like, how do people even live here? You know, I was like, this is bananas. So you know, my experience was basically that I had never ever in my life felt racism as I did till I moved here. Like, I mean, I got all of it from where, you know, hey, you know, I would be talking Spanish with my wife and a couple of friends that would come over, and they were like, hey, shut up, stop speaking that Mexican. And I was like talking to my wife, this guy's an idiot, you know, like if Mexican was a language or something, you know? So they would tell us to shut up. I had another guy that used to tell me, boy, are you stupid? Or you want me to piss in your ear so you can get some brains? You know, I mean, all that kind of stuff, dude. And I was like,
stuff you see in the movies.
Stuff you see in the movies was legit here, bro. And I'm talking about, I got here in 2006. So I wasn't that far. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, imagine 86 or something.
86, right.
Yeah,
right.
Crazy.
So, you know, but that's basically how it's been, you know. And then little by little, you know, after a few, 10 years, because they're so used to the transient people here that they don't want to make friends with them. You know, as soon as they hear that you're from Miami, they think you're a drug dealer. You know what I mean? Yeah. They treat you like shit. But, you know, whatever. I've made a few friends. They see that I'm not transient, that I'm not really a troublemaker unless you provoke me. And then, you know, then you get full 305.
That irritating when they're like, when they're like, oh, stop speaking in Mexican or something.
Oh, that pissed me off. So there was another Cuban chick that I think it was the same asshole at the same bar. She was talking to my wife, and this Cuban chick turns around. You better stop. We don't understand what you're saying. And then she turned around. She said, "Fuck you." She goes, "Did you understand that?" And everybody at the bar lost it laughing. I think since that day, like I never messed with them anymore.
Yeah, when I was in Vegas, I had a little an old lady come up to me. I used to work at a bank at the time, and I had the thing that said "Hablo español," and I was an assistant branch manager at this bank, U.S. Bank. And I had this lady come up to me, pissed, dude, because it said "Hablo español" on my thing. Pissed. She wanted me to take it off. Like she was like, she was like, take it off.
They're offended.
And I was like, dude, what the fuck? I'm not doing anything, whatever,
Yeah.
And that was shocking to me. And there was this other lady talking about the Mexican thing. There was this other lady who, imagínate, my branch was in Sun City in Vegas, which is a retirement community. So it's all white, pasty, retired peeps.
Probably people from New York and shit.
God knows, but I didn't detect much New York accents. But anyways, this lady would come up. She came up to me and she was trying to be nice. She was bless her heart.
Right.
She was trying to be nice.
Right.
She's like, oh, I love. She asked me. She goes, where are you from? And I was like, oh, so I'm Cuban. She's like, oh my God, I love Cuba. This and the other, blah, blah. And she's like telling me all this stuff, whatever, about how much she loves Cuba, which is always a trip because
they've never been there.
Cuban.
Right.
Whenever I hear people say how much they love Cuba, I'm always like, yeah. I've never even been to my own country, but cool, whatever, So they're like, how much they love Cuba, and then towards the end of the whole thing, she says, but wait a minute, but what part of Mexico is Cuba in again?
I can't believe she told you that shit.
Swear to God, dude. I was like, no way.
You see, this is where I wish I would have had right here the little pad thing when it's like, come mierda.
We gotta get that one.
We gotta get that one.
That blew my mind. Like the minute I heard that, I couldn't wait to get home to tell my wife about what I just heard because I was like, this is unbelievable. No,
that is wild.
Talk about movie stuff. That's something you see in a movie. Yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah, dude. So Gainesville has changed, though, man.
Dude, Gainesville has changed a lot, and I would say in the last maybe 3 years, a lot of Latinos have been coming up because Miami and Tampa and Orlando are very expensive places to live. So they come up, and people are looking. Yeah, people are looking because Gainesville is still a safe place to live and to raise your family. It's a great place to raise your family, and if you want to retire here, it's rather safe. There's a lot of good communities that Gainesville has its charm, dude. Yeah, you don't find that in any other city. And I'll be honest, I've had a love-hate relationship with it. Because I miss the culture of the Cuban coffee every corner and being able to club at 11 o'clock when I was young. But other than that, it's really peaceful. Like I go to Miami, dude, and I'll be honest, within the 2 days, I'm like, now I know why I left, dude.
2 days, bro. Give me 20 minutes.
And I'm like, dude.
And I'm like, I'm running back. I'm like, I can't stand this.
And everything is like, if you get off like on 8th Street or Broadway, todo está sucio and dirty, and it just looks like very third world. Like there's only certain pretty places, like Coconut Grove, Brickell, South Beach, certain little areas, but the rest is just like, coño, man, this is una mierda.
You know what I love about Gainesville? I like the houses. I like how they look compared to Miami. Everything is with Miami. Everything is with the Spanish tile.
Yeah, it's very Spanish,
and which is cool, right?
Right.
But if you have to tremenda mansión with the Spanish tiles, it's beautiful,
Right.
But like a regular house, and then like everything's on top of each other. All these Lennar cookie cutter homes.
They're cookie cutter, and there's 0 lots and shit.
0 lots, or a 5,000 square foot lot if you're lucky.
They haven't started doing that here, but they're gonna. That's why whatever you have here, give it another 5 years, 10 years, they'll give you whatever you want for it because I can put like 12 houses in this bitch.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and I'll never forget too when our neighbor, when we used to live, one day comes up to us and goes, "Oye, I love your new kitchen," and I was like, "Thanks, bro." And in my mind, I'm like, how the hell does this guy know about the kitchen? Because this dude has never been in my house before. He's like, the way he said it, he's like, "I love the look of your new kitchen," whatever it's in that. I was like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Oh yeah, I was changing a light bulb in my kitchen, and I looked over and I saw your whole kitchen or whatever, and I was like," he's like, "Oh, I like it," and I was like, "Ah." And in my mind, I was like, "Well, no, bro, how many times have I walked around con los huevos fuera?"
He was probably taking a beat,
whatever, whatever, or my wife, or dude. I was like, no way, man, no way.
That's the country charm, dude.
But that was in Miami.
Oh, that was
in Miami.
Oh no, that guy was a boy.
That was one of the reasons. Not one. One of the many reasons. That was one of the many reasons why I was like, we gotta get the hell out of here, dude.
Miami was pretty bad. I was happy that we left. I was happy that we left because the reason why we left, and I think it was at an appropriate time, was I have seen all my family and my wife's family that as soon as they got out of the Cuba or they came from South America somewhere, once they were in Miami, they didn't want to leave, to the point that if they would leave Hialeah, they would get lost. So they get so used to being there and then they go nowhere. So I told my wife, listen, I don't want to be these people. Why don't we go and at least let's go an adventure? We're young enough, the kids are young. Let's take them out of this whole environment and let's see what happens. And it happened to be that the ones that convinced us to stay was them because they love the trees, they love the peacefulness. It's not la jodedera de Miami. That I saw that the point of views in Miami were, everybody in Miami wants to be, at least in those days, they want to be, either a rapper or a model, and here is different. Here is like, hey, dude, so what sports do you play and what do you want to study?
Yeah,
it's two different worlds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, for me, it was más sano to raise my kids up here. To the point that my kids were born down south and they don't consider themselves Miami people. They consider themselves Gainesvillians. They're like,
Well, my kids recently, I was getting into a conversation with a buddy of mine who actually just joined the chat here. Ozzy, what's up? What's up, bro? I was talking to Ozzy and I was like, oh yeah, my girls, I'm thinking of probably leaving Gainesville and going maybe somewhere like more, more populated, because it's just more programs, more things, more places for art. And I was like, maybe Orlando or something. I don't know. Just, to get them more exposure to things. Sure. I have a fear that when my kids get older, they're going to be like, oh, Dad, thanks for moving us to Gainesville, but we want to go back to Miami. I'm like, God.
Well, that happened to mine. So my son was raised here, or practically raised here when he was like 13, 14 till he got old. And he studied what he studied. And guess what? He had to end up going down south because that's where the money is.
Yeah, true.
That's where all the industry is. There.
Not everybody can have a job where they work from home and
right, or at the hospital. Or
at the hospital,
or at the university,
which is like the hospitals here are like the Staples and Office Max and Office Depots of Gainesville. In Miami, I feel like there's an Office Max, a Staples, and an Office Depot or whatever, all in front, just like that famous intersection there on 88th Street and 137th, or like a Bank of America in front of a Bank of America, in front of a Bank of America, in front of this, in front of a Walgreens, in front of a CVS. Here, it's like hospital in front of hospital, in front of this, in front of another hospital, in front of urgent care, in front of, like, dude, chill out.
Yeah, well, they fly them in from all over from all over the place here. This chance.
Yeah. I told my wife the other day, I said, if they continue to build an empty land here, just hospitals, like, I'm just going to leave this place because, like, I don't know, like that's not appealing to me. You know what I mean? To live somewhere where there's like an urgent care in every corner. Like, I mean, great, right? There's an urgent care not too far from where you are or whatever. But like, I don't know. There's just something weird about that.
So what it is, I'll tell you what it is. What it is that they cater to the kids, and that's like 18 to 25, 26, 27. Then they cater to senior citizens. There's a gap between 30 somethings and 50 somethings that there isn't really anything for that demographic to do.
Yeah.
If it isn't the same old bar with the same old people.
But then ironically, my in-laws don't want to move up here because there's not un Sergio Garcia. Well, not that's a funeral home. Sorry.
Un caballero.
Las Damas and, those places, Leon Medical Centers. There's a place where the old people could go in the morning and leave at midnight.
Right, that's en las uñas.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Ozzy was saying, he's like, oh, but what did Gigi say? Oh, getting me back on track. Thanks, Ozzy. So when I spoke to my oldest about the possibility of moving down south,
right,
she was like, no, Dad, I want to stay here. This is after I have an hour-long conversation with Ozzy about like how I'm thinking about leaving. This buddy of mine is actually thinking to move up here. I'm like, I'm thinking of leaving. Right. And when I'm done, he says, oh, but what does Gigi think? And I'm like, oh, Gigi, what do you think? And Gigi's like, no, I actually want to stay here. I'm like, no way. Yeah. I couldn't believe that. That blew my mind.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? Because she's very artsy. And I'm thinking like, you want to be somewhere where there's more things. And she's like, no, I like it. Like one of the reasons we came up here is my kids wanted the land. They wanted the country. They wanted the animals. They wanted all that.
Right.
And when we came up here and then they saw how far away it was from Miami, I was like, I'm sorry, in Miami, this exists, but it's called the Redlands and it's like a $6 million house.
Easy.
I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, the same thing happened to me. I got the, when we first got here, we would always been condo people, and I rented my first house with like an acre, and I thought it was like, Mac Daddy. Y compró perrito, y compró los pescaditos, y compró pajarito because kids wanted it.
Where the salt and pepper started to come in?
Yeah, dude, I was stressing.
Started getting sexy.
I was stressing, bro. Entonces, guess what? I ended up taking care of the animals myself because the other point, after 30 days, they were like, oh, I'm not walking that dog, or I'm not feeding the bird, or I'm not cleaning the cage.
Yeah.
Like I said, hoy for you, bro. Hasta el otro día.
Well, we try to do the best we can to force ours to do it, but It's not perfect, but my kids do a good job. Anyways, man. So anything else you want to chime in there before we
My
wrap up
brother, I
today's
don't know.
episode?
Do we have were we able to talk to Chef Brad to see what he's got cooking for us? Was that possible? Did we get him on the line?
I don't know. Not on today's show, but we will try and get that dude on.
No, he's
Why not?
he's a good. Oh no, you know what, guys? Also, I wanted to share with you. Finally, I got an update on the film, the TV series that I've been filming. It's called Collateral Interest. It's going to drop on Amazon Prime and Tubi on April the 16th.
Let me do a quick screen
Go
share.
ahead.
Let
Let
me
people show people what's going on.
show the peoples. I'm going to show the
All
peoples.
the peoples.
Collateral Interest. Here we go. Look
Let's
at that.
see it.
Look at that. Look, that's the
Check.
poster for the thing. It's been out on in Amazon. You said
Yeah,
and Tubi.
Amazon Prime and Tubi. I'll be around there somewhere. You'll see me here and there. It's about 4 or 5 episodes. I think come March 8th, we are going to have an interview with the director, and he's going to be giving us, details on the movie. Maybe have some of my cartel guys come and talk about it. But definitely, would love for you guys to take a look and give it a good review, so we can get you season 2, and we'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to actually bring the trailer so you can see it.
Oh yeah,
and we can share it with them.
time to see that.
Yeah, that'll be cool, dude.
I think you said something about I mean, not to get too ahead of everything, but
Go ahead.
that well, I don't want to mention. I'm not sure. Is there like things that like actor things that like you've told me that I shouldn't tell people just in case in the future of the show? I probably won't bring it up. Just
Right.
But anyways, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, dude, it was
Well,
a great
congrats.
it was a hell of an experience, dude. I was able to, go to a lot of places. It was the first, so I went to Atlanta. They took me there. We filmed in the Dominican Republic, dude, in between Haiti and Santo Domingo. We dressed up, we had like 3 mansions out there that we redid for the movie. Then from there we went to Washington D.C., Maryland, Baltimore. We filmed there, and then the last episode was in Los Angeles.
That's so
and
cool,
then the
man.
Mojave Desert. It was a heck of an experience, bro. I mean,
I could imagine, man.
it was fun. It was fun for me. An old cat there doing his thing. It was fun, dude.
You're like, look at me. I have a SAG card.
Look at me. I have an IMDb card.
How did you get the IMDb profile really quickly before we wrap?
No, so I actually had to get it so I can get credits. So basically, once you get into SAG, you get credits for producing, assistant producer, if you've written, if you directed, if you co-directed, all of those are credits, and you need a certain amount of credits to be able to do SAG work or get,
You got a SAG card.
Yeah, you get a SAG card.
You have a SAG card?
No, I do not.
Oh.
It's not worth it yet because I'm not making the big bucks.
Oh, that's the goal, though.
The goal is the bucks.
Awesome, love it.
But yeah, that's what we have for you guys for today.
Yeah, that's
think
awesome.
so.
I want to mention before we wrap up today's show, once again, our second show, we always try and get better. We promise to be better every time. So we appreciate all the views and all the love and everybody chiming in and sharing our show. We very much do appreciate it. I want a round of applause for the appreciation of the people. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. I do want to mention, as well as we mentioned last show, GoFundMe.com/kidney4, like the number 4 Franco. Melissa Franco needs a kidney, guys. Help her out. Any donation would help. Once again, that's GoFundMe.com/kidney, the number 4 Franco. And with that, I think we're ready to go for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Cuban Dudes are here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/@Cuban Dudes, so the little ampersand Cuban Dudes. Or you could just probably search Cuban Dudes and find our channel, subscribe. Facebook, follow us. Instagram, follow us. TikTok, follow us. Even though TikTok is still a work in progress for us, we'll get our TikTok going sometime soon. Please go ahead and share the show. We appreciate the love once again. Thank you guys so very much, and I'm getting us ready here to wrap up.
Gracias and good night.
This has been El Cuban Dudes Show with Andy and Abel. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Cuban Dudes, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Cuban Dudes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.